And I've met 2 or 3 of them. I'm trying to remember their names. Kubish, Gacik, Balcik, Bublik, Schwarz, Krubi, Opalka.
Bravo! Bravo!
And they were, well, brave. That's not the right word. They were trained in England, and they left England for that one reason, to get Heydrich, who was a real monster, probably the worst of all the Nazis. And that's saying something. They're looking for one now, you know, in South America. 94 years old he is, and he's done terrible, terrible, terrible things. They're still looking for him. Never forget. Never forget. And all these men, they gave them, you know, I met some who had a medal called Zachfabrost. I don't know if that's Czech or Slovak, but it is for courage, for bravery. Then again, in the musical world, of course, Mozart, the 8th Symphony. Oh, for me, it's just unbelievably beautiful. I love it. I play it all the time. Jinnah, wonderful. Smetana, Prodaná Nevěsta, Voltava, Mavlas, wonderful, wonderful composers. He also had some very fine singers. One of the greatest I ever heard, has been dead a long time, was a Czech tenor called Benno Blachut. Some of you may know the name. And there was another one called Ivo Židek, I think his name was. And they're all very fine. Oh, yes, and Karel Kalash, of course, who sang Quetzal. Famous, famous. I heard him singing when I got this bit in Czech. And you had great composers, great singers, great writers, and you are a country. If I was a Czech, I would be very proud of what people achieved during World War II. In the Air Force, there was a special squadron. In the Army, special unit. Beneš, of course, was the exiled president. And Thomas Garrigue Masaryk, who founded the country when it was both countries, and his son Jan, who was murdered, and many, many others. So you see, my knowledge of your country is fairly good. It's fairly good. It's very important to me, because in a way, it was a part of my life. Many years ago, and I've been to Prague, I think, 3 times. The last time was when I went to take part in a television series called Young Indiana Jones. And the bit I did, I played a real man who was the foreign minister of what was then, oh, it must have been Austria-Hungary. Must have been, because the Emperor Franz Josef, was it Franz Josef or Karl? Franz Josef, yes. There was a foreign minister by the name of Czernin. Now I know the family Czernin. One of them was a very brave man during the war. I knew him very well, Manfred Czernin. And this man, Czernin, was a foreign minister, and he was, he tried to, you know, play both sides, like a lot of people do. And he was the one who tried to get the emperor to make peace with the Kaiser. And the emperor wasn't quite sure what to do. This is in the film. And so there were some young men who come along, say absolutely not, no, 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 no. And I'm not at all happy about this. That's in the film. But George Lucas was the man in charge of all these, Young Indy, and he saw that, and when he saw that, he offered me Count Dooku in Star Wars. I didn't do any of that. But apparently it's his favourite on the television series. Now there's an animated film coming out called Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And my character's there as Dooku, and I do the voice. And Samuel Jackson, I think, does the voice of Mace Windu. So, I don't know what else to say.
Working with Spielberg on 1940.
Oh, well, I've been very lucky. I've worked with some of the greatest directors ever. Some of them, their names won't mean very much to you. John Huston and Nicholas Ray, of course, Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. Billy Wilder, the greatest I've ever worked with. Steven Spielberg, I did a film called 1941 where I only spoke German on a Japanese submarine. And the whole point of this was that I speak German and they all understand what I'm saying, but they don't say so. So I say the most terrible things in German about the Japanese, and they don't react, although they understand everything. And then they say things in Japanese, in Japanese to me, and they know that I understand Japanese. So this was the gag. One of the greatest actors in the history of the cinema, Toshiro Mifune, Seven Samurai, Rashomon, and so on. I was 1 month with him on this submarine. What a wonderful experience to be with an actor like that.